Hello, my fellow readers. This is Leo, and today we will be reading Flat Stanley at Bat. This is an I Can Read book. Before we get started, if you hadn't already, be sure to press that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. Okay, let's get straight into the video. Flat Stanley at Bat, created by Jeff Brown. By Lori Haskin-Horan. Pictures by Mackie Minitwan. Stanley Lambchop lived with his mother, his father, and his little brother Arthur. Stanley was 4 feet tall, about a foot wide, and a half an inch thick. He had been flat ever since a bulletin board fell on him. Sometimes being flat was tricky, but he turned sideways. Stanley was hard to spot, and a gust of wind could sweep Stanley off his feet, but he never let his flatness get in his way. "I'm trying out for baseball," Stanley told Arthur one day. Arthur helped Stanley practice. Stanley hit 1,000 pitches. He caught 1,000 fly balls. Stanley's hard work showed at tryouts. "Congratulations," said Coach Bart. "You are our new center field." Opening day was bright and breezy. The teams ran onto the field. "There's Stanley!" cried Arthur. Mr. Lambchop snapped a picture. Mrs. Lambchop cheered. "Hooray for the other players, too," she added politely. Stanley was the first batter. He stepped up to the home plate. He turned sideways and pulled back his bat. The pitcher squinted at Stanley. "This guy is so skinny," he said. "I can hardly see where to throw." He threw a pitch. "Ball 1," said the umpire. Another pitch. "Ball 2," said the umpire. 2 more balls, and Stanley earned a walk. "Good job," called Coach Bart. Stanley's team played well. By the 9th inning, they led 6-5. The other team had one last chance. Their best hitter came to bat and blasted the ball towards the fence. Just then, the breeze picked up. Stanley ran and leaped into the wind. Whoosh! Up floated Stanley. Plunk! Went the ball into his glove. "Great play!" Arthur called. Not everyone agreed. "No fair!" yelled someone in the crowd. "A flat play isn't even allowed." Stanley felt crushed. That night, Stanley talked to Arthur. "I'm a good player," he said. "And not just because I'm flat. But how can I prove it?" "I think I know a way," Arthur said. The next day, the day of the second game, was breezy and bright, but something was different. "Stanley!" gasped Mrs. Lambchop. Her son was not flat. He was bursting out of his uniform. Mrs. Lambchop gasped, "My nice, clean laundry!" A sock stuck out of Stanley's collar. A purple frilly blouse trailed from his pant leg. "That's my favorite one," Mrs. Lambchop said. There was no time to worry about the clothes. A batter smacked the ball over Stanley's head. Stanley ran and leaped into the wind. But this time Stanley didn't float up, and the ball didn't land in his glove. It sailed right over the fence. Soon it was Stanley's turn to bat. The pitcher had no trouble seeing where to pitch now. "Strike one," called the umpire. "Strike two. Strike three." In the bleachers, Arthur gulped. Had he made a terrible mistake helping Stanley unflatten himself? The last inning rolled around. The game was tied. Stanley came to bat again. He heard Arthur's voice in the crowd. "Come on, Stanley, you can do it!" The pitcher threw the ball, and Stanley smashed it. The ball flew into the outfield. Bap! It bounced off the wall. The right fielder ran to pick it up. Meanwhile, Stanley tore around the bases. First base, second base, third base. Stanley was heading home, but so was the ball. "Stanley, slide!" shouted Coach Bart. Arthur's heart raced. If Stanley was still flat, he could glide easily under the catcher's glove. But now Stanley stretched out his arms and dove onto the home plate. There was a swirl of dirt and socks. Then the umpire spread his arms. "Safe!" he called. "Woohoo!" Arthur hollered. Mr. and Mrs. Lambchop clapped so hard their hands hurt. "No fair!" yelled someone in the crowd. "Look at all the muscles on that kid. A player's that big even allowed?" Stanley grinned. "Not so many socks next time," Mr. Lambchop called down to Stanley. Mrs. Lambchop looked at Arthur. "And no blouses." The end. I hope you enjoyed the book, Flat Stanley at Bat. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you